Summertime is here. And you know what that means. People are on vacation, people are on break, people are traveling, and people are acting out. Now, I've always had a soft spot for the world when it comes to dating, relationships, and things of that nature because I know although we are in a time and age for at least the younger generation where getting married isn't necessarily the goal for people, there's a huge push on a hookup culture, people just sleeping around, the dating apps, all that crazy stuff that's going on. I've always had a soft spot for that because even though that's the push in the culture, I definitely believe that those people and a lot of people are just finding a lot of hurt from these kinds of things, finding a lot of challenges and really just adding, things to their life and problems and issues to your lives that you don't have to add to your life. Just by being a part of this terrible hookup culture. Well, I saw this gentleman here. We're getting ready to watch this clip who explains a couple of reasons, a couple of things that you should look for in a man of God to be able to attract a man of God as a woman. And I think this is very important. And I know this is very controversial because when it comes to these topics and it comes to the things that you're getting ready to hear from a man, people usually reject it and they don't like to hear it. But as they used to say, you heard it from the camel's mouth, from the horse's mouth, or whatever. You're hearing it from a man's mouth. Mine, the gentleman you're getting ready to hear in just a second, you're hearing it from their mouths. So just take heed, chew the meat, spit out the bones. But if you want positive and good outcomes, and the people that can give you the positive and good outcomes are giving you the direct answer, you'd kinda be dumb not to listen and take heed to it. So let's get into this clip.
Number one, be modest. If a man of God goes to your Instagram profile and sees you, dressing all skimpy, having everything hanging out, he will not take you seriously. Make sure you have some nice photos. Be attractive, but go for the more classy look because a man of God will respect that more and actually take you more seriously for marriage potential. Number two.
100%. And people don't talk about that enough. We're going to pause this in between each one, so please get comfortable. Enough people don't talk about that. And I know that women get upset when they're told by men how to dress, but understand it from a biblical aspect. If you're wanting to attract a good man, most women want a good man. Now, there are those women that I have seen and heard that they desire a bad man. Like you desire your pick, your creme de la creme is someone who is bad for you. But we're not here to talk about those. We're here to talk about the women that want to find an actual man of God. This is one of the things, as he said, this is top. Modesty is top. Because no man, and I know people don't like to hear this, and I know women don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. It's not a direct attack on you. It's not a direct offense to you. It's a generic, true statement. No man, none, wants to marry a woman that a lot of men, the entire world had access to, the entire world was able to see, a lot of men saw, a lot of men probably downloaded the picture. You go on the internet, there's a lot of people, and people be having those scriptures in their bio. Talking about, God is all. I love God. Jesus is everything. And you go and you look in the profile and there's booty all out. Every year you're practically naked. You got to hear it from that point. It's not necessarily telling you how to dress. Dress how you want to dress. But this is only if you are looking for a good, true, real man of God. That's an important aspect. And beyond that, because as a man of God, he wants you to have respect enough for your own self. See, that man of God you're looking for, he's going to value you, your body, your everything about you, inside out. He's going to value that. And because of that value that he has, and because that he's a good man of God, he is also going to want and require you to value yourself. So that means you have to value yourself as much as he values you as well. So you would want to become modest. You would want to cover that stuff up just as much as he would. You wouldn't look at him as someone complaining and being narcissistic for making such a request. You'd understand that that request, first and foremost, is coming in love. And it's coming in love to the fact that he respects you and wants you to respect yourself as well. Let's keep this going.
To be kind and gentle. A man of God does not want to date an angry feminist. So if you ladies out there, like to argue all the time or like to be in control all the time or wear the pants, that is not going to attract you, a man of God. Instead, have traits like being kind. Have traits like being happy. You want your man to see you as the peaceful piece of his life, essentially. And you want to maintain that and not be too alpha, because being too alpha as a woman is the biggest turnoff for a man of God. Number 3.
And that goes on the same thing on the men's side too, because I know women get upset when they hear this, like, I can do this, I'm independent, I'm not going to submit, I ain't going to be quiet, I ain't going to be soft, this is who I am. I get it. But on the same side, on the men's side, yes, who we are naturally, God created us. We are the stronger creature. We can be aggressive. We can be forceful. But that doesn't mean that just because we have the ability to do those things, that we exercise those things during the time of being with a loved one, being with a spouse, inside of a relationship. Those are things that as men, we do have to work on to understand of how to treat you guys as women, the softer creature, as God calls it, and as God explains it in the Bible. So on the flip side, if men can do that, and if men should be focusing on that, I also believe what this gentleman said, women should focus on that too, because for some people it comes naturally. For some women it comes naturally. For others it doesn't. But that might be something that you want to definitely consider working on, and not just leaving it up to, this is who I am, this is how I am, deal with it. That definitely might be something you might want to work on. Let's keep this going.
Is having the fear of God within you. What this actually allows a man that you're dating to feel is peace and also trust, because you yourself have a relationship with God the Father yourself. A man's biggest fear is to be cheated on or disrespected. So the more that you ladies can make your man feel like this will never happen through having that fear of God as an accountability partner, the better your chances are at attracting a suitable partner. Number 4, take care of your physical appearance. Men are very visual creatures, regardless of their religion, whether they're atheists, whatever it is. The first thing a man of God will notice about you is how you look. So make sure you ladies are taking care of your presentation, how you dress, making sure you're going to the gym, getting exercise, because that is very important. And number 5, the final point you've all been waiting for, is if you're a woman trying to attract a man of God online, specifically online, and get someone's attention, take your profile off private. Now, I get it. A lot of women out there keep their profiles on private for many good reasons, which I also respect, and I would actually want my woman to potentially do that in the future. However, if you're a woman trying to attract a man of God, it makes it difficult for the man to understand who you are. Have a nice cross in your bio. Have some Bible verses in your bio. Have a few quotes. Have some presentable, modest photos in there so the man can actually suss you out, see what your values are, and what you're all about.
100%, man. And I know there's always a battle. I see it all over the internet. Men and women fighting each other. Men trying to get women to understand them. Women trying to get men to understand them. But you got to realize we have to work together. We definitely have to work together to understand each other. There's work definitely that is always required on both sides, for men and for women. It's not just women who need to do work. It's also not just men who need to do work. Both people, as they always say, the saying has always been true, takes two to tango. Both people have to be working on themselves and be willing to do the things that are necessary. There's certain things that a woman should just not be doing if you are looking for a husband, a father, to your children. If you're looking for those things, there's just certain things that you should know. And if you don't, it's okay. But that's where that learning and that's where that growing comes from. And as men, there's just certain things you should already know as well. If you are looking to be a husband and if you are looking to father children, there's certain, mindsets that need to be in order, certain priorities that should already be in order. And if not, well, that's why we have grace to learn those things. But you got to make sure that you're actually putting in that work, because When it comes to relationships, men and women, hear me. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just continue to happen. You have to keep it in motion. You have to keep things active. You don't just wake up and nonchalantly live your life and just go throughout the days and you think that this thing is just going to hamster wheel itself along the way. That's a recipe for destruction. This thing takes two people actively, day in and day out, working through their salvation, working through it with each other, learning, removing things, stripping things, adding things, learning new things. It's a journey, guys, and that's the beautiful process of it, but it all honors God. This stuff that he's talking about, this stuff we've been talking about, it honors God. Women, that honors God. Because it honors yourself and you are the temple of God. So there's so much reverence that comes from you just being modest, being soft-spoken, having a deep relationship with Christ. God honors that because he sees the honor in it. That's all I got for you guys on this one, man. Stay safe out there. Be alert. Don't just get into any situation, all these situationships with people that everyone has going on. Don't just get into anything. Be alert. Pray. Talk to God. Make sure these are the signs you're seeing. To the next one, yo. I'm out.